First of all, I'd like to welcome you on Deep Talk with Avarit. Sarim, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure for me as well.
It's amazing to see how you became famous as a meme and then you launched your NFT. That was a brave and that was really, I would say, thoughtful move by just launching it as an NFT because you were already famous and coming out in the open with the NFT world. How did it go about? We'd love to know your journey. How did it all happen?
Well, it, it had been almost 2 years, and my memes were all as usual going around whenever cricket came up, IPLs or other
Right.
World Cup. That's when it peaks up. But in my mind, I was just struggling. Okay, how to take it forward, what to do, and I was approached by a Pakistani-based NFT company, and they offered me, okay, let's do one thing. How do you want to get remembered? I said, my name will continue going. I don't know when it will
Right, right.
stop. So then they said that, oh, look, let's, do you know about NFTs? I said, yeah, I've heard about it, but I don't know. So they went on and praised me what NFT is, and then they offered me that why don't we make NFTs of your famous avatar and then do iterations of it and let's see what how public perceives it, and that's how the journey began.
That's incredible to know how you know just camera glancing at you during that match, and just a small moment of fame can just take take you side on in a different way. I don't know how you would be feeling that time when it happened, and what would go around with a person who's just come for a match with his friends just to chill around and suddenly sees everywhere making the meme of it. So how was feeling back then?
Oh, it was an incredible day. It's a lot of you can say circumstances that needed to be aligned. I wasn't planning to go. Then I, in fact, drove for 3.5 hours one way with my friend. Then I didn't realize that the seats that we had got were just by the boundary line and by the third man area. So obviously with Australia playing in with their fast bowlers, and Pakistani as well, the ball would frequently come to the third man area. And just like probably any other fan, we were trying to cheer up Pakistan and trying to catch the ball at the third man area. In this particular situation, already we had dropped the corner by then, and we had crossed 100. So
Yeah,
we were well behind the game.
right.
So when we played this shot, I thought, oh, it's coming over. One more thing. And I was positioning myself to catch the ball. And
Okay.
and it was just in front of me when the ball fell down, and Asif Ali dropped a sitter.
Yes.
And it just came over my face. All the disappointment, probably, and angry, and a lot of emotions went in. And it was probably a few seconds, you can say. But
Yeah, yeah.
because it was caught on the live broadcast, that's when it kicked off. But I thought, okay, yeah, I came on the big screen probably, and over the committee, people might have mentioned, the commentators might have mentioned me. That's about it. In fact, my friends and colleagues who were contacting me on mobile just afterwards, I just requested me, oh, can you hold on to the recording for me or try to get hold of anything? I will take it after the game. But yeah, there's nothing as such. But I think then people start around me who were sitting there started talking. Oh, he's the bald guy. He's the ganda guy. So yes, and I also started receiving memes over my Facebook profile. People were sharing it with me. My family was sharing it with me. Oh, look, we have received this one. But I said, okay, that's fine. Probably a momentary kind of situation. But then after I think 40 minutes, the broadcaster and they came with their host. I forgot her name, but she came over and introduced herself, and she said, "You know what? Your disappointed look has gone viral and it has become famous." I said, and would you like to give an interview? I said, oh, of course not.
Wow.
Why would I? Why wouldn't I? And that's how it began, and that made me realize. And since that interview, till the end of the match, I wasn't let go. People were crowding against me because they knew that probably at some point in time the camera would focus on me. And it was a tricky situation because at the end, probably Pakistan was trying to reach up, and our fast bowlers were hitting the ball outside.
Yes.
So the camera crew came back again just to catch my emotion of being excited about the game. And then when it ended, everyone was taking selfies and whatnot. That was the day. And then
I mean,
probably, yeah, go ahead.
one match, one moment of fame. I mean, I think me and my friends we laughed over that meme because of the fact that there was just one emotion which says it all because of the lines added by the people, in the content business. They were adding different kind of lines to that same, you are standing like this, that you dropped a sitter. I would have caught that, you were just behind
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
your
exactly.
first hand experience was, अरे ये तो मैं भी कर लेता, अरे what happened, right? So we also thought, okay, एकदम से कैमरा हल्का सा ऊपर हुआ ना, oh that was, मतलब I feel full match I don't remember anything, but that meme was like flooding for like an entire some months, and everyone who doesn't know cricket in India, they know you. I mean,
This is a good point because I
yes,
have so many fans from India, and they think that I'm an Indian as well. Because
yes,
some of them who have asked me, okay, where do you live in India? I'm a Pakistani. Then they seem so surprised because obviously with cricket, India is a keen follower for every kind of cricket. I've accumulated so many Indian fans. Majority of my fans over Instagram and Twitter are Indian. And yeah, it's a celebration. And I've asked this question to myself as well. What's the call? Why is it still going on? And the only answer I came up with is probably so neutral that it can be fixed on any situation, be it
yes,
political, be it a
yes.
calamity, be it sporting world. Some people have sent it to me from America during their football.
Oh,
Um, other on Instagram, I have so many Italian followers. I said, oh, it has no relation with cricket. Why so? But they love the image. Iran, Botswana, oh, non-cricket playing countries. It's so amazing and humbling at the same time.
my question to you is, how did you pan out? And when someone gets famous over something, there are also many things, many layers added to it. मतलब आसपास के लोगों को मजा आया, दे फेल्ट गुड अबाउट इट, योर फैमिली, या फिर कहीं ना कहीं whenever you like एक फेमस इंसान के साथ दिक्कतें होती हैं, वी डोंट नो, तो आपके साथ कुछ ऐसी दिक्कतें फेस करी आपने वर्क में या कहीं, जहाँ पे आपने कहा यार क्यों मैं फेमस हो गया, क्या कर लिया मैंने, समथिंग लाइक दैट?
No, yeah, nothing of sort. In fact, everyone around me celebrated it. I started getting a lot of attention at the office. People, when we started meeting, my bosses started introducing me. Oh, do you know? Do you
Oh,
recognize this face? He's become a famous personality in our team. Um, just like everyone, I think wherever I went, particularly in the Southeast Asian communities, Indian, Pakistani, Bangladesh, Sri Lankan, anyone, they would recognize me and just request for a selfie. I remember just after that, I think after a month or so, I was visiting a theme park with my family. And as soon as I entered, there was an Indian family, and the guy approached me. Oh, are you the one in
yes,
that match in the with the disappointment? I said, yeah. And this was the first time that my family had been part of that. That someone approaches me, and they were dumbstruck. They were just fascinated. Oh, what's going on? Why is Papa giving such a selfie, and people are approaching him? And both my sons, they said, Papa, you don't continue with this. Stop there.
Oh,
because
okay.
whenever, yeah, it was a very interesting one because when I drop my kids or pick them up from the school, I'm talking about in 2019 when it happened, I think
Yes,
within
yes,
two,
yeah.
3 months. So maybe the children or the parents would have recognized me. No one approached me, but my kids would definitely tell me later. Oh, my friend was saying that your father is so famous, this and that, and then he told me, "Oh, Papa, I don't want you to come and drop me. It's embarrassing."
Oh,
Then the Coca-Cola ad happened. I think it was within 2 months or something in Pakistan. And when it came out, my elder one said, "Papa, I don't want you to do this again." I said,
no.
"Why?
Oh,
Why wouldn't I do?" But he said, "No, this is something different. You are." And still to date, my immediate family, my wife doesn't want to do anything of that sort. My kids, they are not interested. But contrary, my sibling, my mother and father, they are all over it. They want to read any mention of me in the press or any videos where I'm part of or anything. So that they celebrate it, and similar in other family members as well. But now I've taken it into stride. It's very become normal, and it's only on the social world, social media, where it's all virtual fame, you can say. And thanks to probably ICC as well and ESP cricket, every now and then they tag it along with a very anticipated kind of a match. I remember when the lockdown happened and the West Indies was traveling over to England. That was the first match after quite a while and all around the world. So there was no
yes,
cricket
yes.
going on.
Mm.
And the first test match, first day, was washed out due to rain. And ICC put my picture there, and that
Right.
everyone was anticipating, and it was a bummer that it rained. Then again, the second year anniversary on that specific day, ICC posted it again, so they recognized me. And a few of the things that has happened, like the meme was posted in Nine Gag Museum of Memes in Hong Kong.
Oh, wow.
That was a fascinating thing. One of my fans, probably he was studying there, he came across it and sent me a picture. And just a casual, like anyone from the side on, took a picture and sent it to me. Oh, so Sarim bhai, have you seen that? I said, "No, I haven't seen this. Is it real?" He said, "No, you wouldn't believe there is a museum of memes, and I just went there because it has recently opened, and your meme is there." I said, "Wow, congratulations!" So I reshared it. After asking his permission, and it became a viral of its own. No one could recognize. Oh, there is a museum of memes, and
Yeah, that's hilarious.
the best comment that I got was. Oh, you are a Mona Lisa of memes. It never dies down. And we never knew there was a real person behind it because it went well. And similar things, I've been probably featured in a vocabulary book. Someone has
Oh
taken
my
my
God.
picture and put it in a vocabulary book and by, I think it was against a stare, the verb stare. So they put my picture and they said, "Oh, this is how it looks like," to pictorially depict the word. Yeah, last year was crazy. A lot of things happened. It became two or three times when it went on and on.
But that's crazy how small things can make you famous in a social media world.
Of course, yeah,
People,
couldn't realize it. I didn't believe what had happened. I would obviously I have heard it in the past, how memes are gone, but I lived it. So it's crazy. You're right, absolutely.
right? And how did you started? आपके भाई ने आपको बोला कि NFT बंद करते हैं, जैसे आपने बोला एक कंपनी ने आपको कहा. But I feel more often than not, Ursulin, I spoke to him. He's
Oh,
more
really? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he is more into the Web 3.0 culture and NFTs, right?
He is into social media and marketing because that's his day
Right.
job. So he is super dude right from when he graduated, I think after his 12th grade. The way that he has come up, he's been into marketing. He's so confident talking to any executive, and that's how he grew his career. Now he's in Canada, He's living his dream job. So this is part of his job to explore and interact with people in the social media to get into different realms of different worlds like retail or anything like to promote or things like that, and he explores it. And because of my NFTs, I think he comes across so many people, social media influencers,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's why I think he also tapped into you as well, and you showed interest, and here we are.
Yeah, definitely, because I loved that when he told me it's sold out, and it was
Mhm.
late when I saw your meme and everything.
Mhm.
And as I'm also part of NFT in a lot of ways, and in India also the culture is booming, but there are so many layers attached to it. So I
Mhm.
wanted to ask about your project, how like it's sold out, but what it is कि इसके रोड मैप में क्या है, what क्या करता है, मतलब जैसे I feel जो I think 6464 means
Correct,
probably, right?
correct, yeah.
Yes. So can you tell me about something about your project, because sold out तो हो गए but trade होगा आगे, it's going to go along the way.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we were trying to do. Obviously, hype बहुत ज़्यादा था. We got a lot of fanfare who joined our Discord channel where we were trying to get hold of and develop a community, just like probably any other project related to NFTs. And we built it up, I think, almost 7,000 right about at the mint time. But when it came to the whitelisting, the first day, pre-mint, there was a lot of interest, a lot of noise, and people would come in, but we didn't get a lot of sales. So that was perplexing for us. Why are people not interested in buying? Then, having gone through the kind of people, we realized that these a majority of them were first time buyers who were just attracted to the name, and they have heard in the past NFTs related stuff. So it piqued their curiosity and they've joined in. And they were probably maybe struggling as well to get into NFT, how to get the Ethereum, create a wallet, and all of that. So we facilitated all of that.
FAQs, yeah.
But then we quickly realized that there was a reluctance to spend money on that and get the team in. So we decided, okay, why don't we do that? Why don't we give it out free? Because we had operated on a very good algorithm, which our contract was probably first of its kind, which saved on gas fees, and that's
It's
the
it was
that
on Ethereum or block Polygon.
it was on Ethereum.
All right.
And that also resonated with everyone. So what we decided was we will give it out free, and as soon as we announced that, it was a crazy 2 weeks when everyone just went after it, and we sold it, I think, in 3 4 days. Everyone bought it, and the best comment was obviously on the artwork as well, but the amount of gas fees that everyone was saving, even to
Yes,
mint
it's
these
important.
free
Right,
NFTs.
right, right.
Then start the yeah. Obviously, everyone started trading. You get lots of different people who just want to flip. So they try to flip. Obviously, at that time there was a little bit hype, so people started approaching. But now the utility is that we have delegated all these projects and our roadmap. We decided with the community. We have a few whales, but there are about 1,000 unique holders of our 6464 NFTs. So we throw it out, whatever ideas we have. So we have been collaborating with so many different projects, and that's how we are trying to grow. Right now, we are working on some animation stuff as well. We are looking for an artist who can produce some kind of sort of meme-based artwork for our merchandise. So that's another bit that we are going into. Then, as we go along, and depending on the trades, then obviously we invest into it further. Um, People will have a chance to meet me in person, attend games with
Right.
me in person,
That's so
um,
great.
and yeah, similar things. I think there is a Boatyard Art Club as well, NFT
Yeah,
as well.
board area of love. Yeah.
Correct, we have put it up as well. If we reach a certain threshold, So there are lots of stuff on our roadmap. We have obviously we are still there, keep interacting and done lots of AMAs. Everywhere I attend these spaces, for example, in Twitter, there's a lot of interest. Oh, you are the meme from that image, and people recognize me. And then when I tell them NFTs, oh, yeah, yeah, we didn't know. So I think there is a little bit of a gap. People obviously are aware of the meme, but going into the right circles where NFTs are traded or people are getting interested, that's the bridge that we are trying to kind of cover with reaching out to you guys or similar other influencers who have platforms who can suit us. We want to bridge our gap that, oh, these are NFTs which are based on the famous meme to generate interest and then get people to trade on.
Yeah, definitely. And I also know, like, from an Indian point of view,
Mm-hmm.
we are always thinking of educating the masses first, because
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of questions regarding how to go about this, as well as you see recession happening everywhere, NFTs are
Correct,
tanking
yeah.
down, crypto, share market everywhere. But it
Mm-hmm.
is important to understand that this is just not an hype culture. It is
Mm-hmm.
adding utility. And back in India, I also attended a hackathon. It was
Mm-hmm.
in Chitkara University in Chandigarh, where I also gave a presentation about NFTs to the younger Gen Zs, because these guys are going to march along in the NFT world. And they were very excited, buzzed around. But when I told
Mm-hmm.
them to proceed with caution, in the end, they
Mm-hmm.
were like, why? Why
Mm-hmm.
he's not over promoting? I said it's important to understand the meaning, understand the utility area, as well as understand the value. Like
Correct.
my presentation was about value investment, digital
Mm-hmm.
assets, why
Mm-hmm.
they are valuable. So, and then forming our opinion about other people, that there may be something valuable to you will not be valuable to another person, right?
Correct.
So to come up with those things, I understood that Gen Zs are crazy about NFTs, and
Mm-hmm.
these guys certainly know a lot. And there will be people who will be getting along on the way of NFTs by not thinking of it as an hype culture. That's I think for me, I am a co-founder of Groove NFT, where we help musicians,
Oh wow.
to mint their
Okay.
NFTs, because in India you have these amazing musicians, amazing
Mm-hmm.
talent.
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan is no less. Jal band. I
Mm-hmm.
love 90s strings
Oh
band
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
Pakistan.
yeah.
It still gives me goosebumps when I talk about these
Yeah.
people. It's beautiful. Love their songs and all. So we have so much talent,
Mm.
in the neighborhood and in our country. It is very important to get them some of the platform where they educate themselves, as well as they are able to mint their own NFTs. They are able to have that community
Mm.
where they're talking about music, talking about instruments, and create a different kind of utility towards it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, a lot of things is happening in India about Metaverse also.
Oh really? Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yes,
must be. Yes, must
we are
be.
collaborating with a lot of
Mm.
brands when it comes to Metaverse, because every other brand is coming up with the Metaverse. Venture capitalists are full on, they are able to give money, but still I feel it's very early days. It's not about the funding. I think it's about, again, utility or
Correct.
SSI, self-sovereign
Mm-hmm.
identity, where they actually understand. मतलब जब ऐसा हो जाएगा कि हमारी मदर्स भी इजीली एनएफटी दबा के ले लेंगी,
Ah.
तब एक समझ में आएगा, ओके, कि ओके,
Then
दिस इज व्हाट
you're going into the wider uh, you can say fraternity and getting the
एनएफटी.
people hyped up and interested. And you are right, absolutely. I think the biggest hurdle is going through that hassle of creating a wallet, for example, then
Yes,
putting in ETH in that wallet to purchase it, then going through the mint and all of that process. It should be simplified and
it
it
will be.
will obviously, but this is an evolving obviously area.
Yes,
It will gradually go towards an metaverse, and now with Web3, I think it is getting sorted out, but it's slow. But yeah, I think that's part of the evolution.
yes, and I feel going slow is the way, because with crypto, I felt a lot of people just wanted to just go in all
Mm-hmm.
nuts, not even
Mm-hmm.
thinking about anything happening. So I feel it's
Mm-hmm.
very good that it's going slow, but I also see a lot of hurdles, obstacles. Like we did a launch for MTV when their first drop happened. It
Mm-hmm.
got sold out immediately because that was the hype when happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you start the NFT, uh, a website which is about NFTs marketplace something, it'll take some time, to move on its feet
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because right now it's tanking down. So when the market is stable and still people are having a buzz or creating some value, then of course it's great, great to see how it pans out.
Of course, now probably the struggle is what to choose, which to choose, because the market is getting saturated. So many
Yes,
projects are out there, and some are just hoping to get the first buzz and then pull the rug,
yes,
and they are there for a short term. So, uh, how to differentiate between those kind of projects and the other serious ones? That's the biggest struggle, I think, everyone. So what probably I did and every other project is just to get some kind of a support from any of the influencer in the NFT world,
yes,
to get a
yes.
buy-in, to get a comment in, or just to get a retweet so that the project starts somehow. Because obviously it's oversaturated now. Everyone is coming up with that.
Yeah, and I also feel that it is also about collaborations and partnerships.
Exactly,
Like
exactly.
like right now, I see a lot of NFT projects going down, but I
Mm,
feel people who are collaborating or having partnerships, they are not worried because they are in the space already. If there are 50 collaborations or partnerships, like with your NFT, you have other
mm,
cricket NFTs going around, and
correct,
let's
yeah.
say they build a metaverse, you can
Mm,
say, okay, I'm collaborating with you, and my NFTs people can take, they can access in your metaverse.
yes,
Like
yeah, yeah.
we are building a metaverse and we are having these brands called Bira, Thar,
Mm,
Mahindra, and having a fidgetal, which we say that something they are having in the digital world as well as the
mm.
physical world. Then only
Wow,
people
okay.
can understand.
Yeah.
Like you are giving them NFT, but if you are saying, I'm going to meet you in person,
Mm, mm, mm,
wow.
mm.
I mean, this is something which they will have. Okay, मैं सरीम अख्तर से मिला, for them
Correct, correct.
people are all around the world, they would be like, yeah, I met this person there. So meeting or franchise like you guys doing.
Mm.
So I mean, there are some things physical and digital connected. Then only we will pan out to the digital world. What about Pakistan? How are they perceiving NFT there?
Initial craze, as I mentioned, got a lot of crowd who were first timers and they got interested in the NFTs. But with the kind of financial restrictions in
Yeah,
Pakistan,
right.
it was very restricted. Crypto was kind of a, you can say, turnaround where the government restricted buying and selling, and that reflected on the NFTs as well. So at the end, it didn't materialize much. So I got most of my, in fact, most of the NFTs purchasers who are owning my NFTs are from India, Bangladesh,
Asian
US,
countries.
Asian countries. I got yeah, a lot of interest, as I mentioned. There are a lot of apes who are Asian, so they got interested. I did a few spaces with them. Got so many people in, or probably I think over 300, 500 people joined those spaces. So it was perceived very well. And that you are absolutely right. The way forward is because of the downturn, it will ride through, right? It will eventually come up. But this is a time to hold hands and collaborate with other
Yes.
projects and just get the word out. Because you don't know where it might get a mention and it might just fan out and speak out, and you'll get the ball rolling for any project that you are holding their hands, or
Yes.
in
Yes.
turn they can advise your own project as well.
And even Instagram announced that they will
Mm.
be doing the NFTs. So when you see Twitter, these
Oh
social
yes,
groups, once these
correct.
guys go hand in hand and talk about NFTs, and slowly it becomes like a brag thing. Like if you
Yes.
own, let's say, your NFT, they
Mm.
start bragging. Okay, I have Sarim
Mm.
Akhtar's
Yeah,
NFT,
yeah.
and the more famous you get, the more you come out talking like we're talking
Mm,
here, or more you talk to people, more
mm,
you put layers and collaboration and put some amazing utility like a session with you, and
mhm.
that's amazing. So it will definitely pan out. Like even Gary Vee, how he
Yeah.
managed his whole stance on it. He's making sure that he has people who he will invest also and do things also. In fact, we have some people like him in India also. What they
Mhm.
are doing is they are making community and they are
Mm.
talking about that this much amount of money will go in real estate in India, and these
Oh
are the
wow.
places. So the
Yeah.
community is deciding, okay, I
Mm.
hold an NFT, got it for like 25,000 rupees, and उस
Mm.
25,000 रुपए में मुझे दे आर गिविंग ट्रिप्स, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने एक एनएफटी, एक ट्रैवल एग्जीक्यूटिव की एनएफटी
Mm.
के साथ मैंने कोलैबोरेट किया। मैंने कहा आप मुझे
Mm.
इनको, ये है मेरे एनएफटी होल्डर्स, इनको आप
Mm.
10,000 का गोवा का ट्रिप दो या
Mm.
इनको
Mm.
भेजते हैं हम
Mm.
पे। तो उनके साथ कोलैबोरेशन होगी, ऐसे 50 और हैं। Then that
Mm.
person feels कि I have 25,000 मैंने खर्च करे एनएफटी पे,
इन्वेस्ट किया है, हाँ।
and I got to go to Goa. I met
Mm.
Sarim Akhtar. I met this.
Mm.
Like,
Mhm.
he's happy and telling, bragging about it. As
Mm.
well as he after 10 years says कि वो 25,000 मेरा कहीं ना कहीं लग के रियल एस्टेट में I got like 10
Mm.
5 lakh 6 lakh।
Mm.
हुआ तो
Mhm.
वही इन्वेस्ट का जरिया जो बैंक्स how they do it
Mm.
in India,
Mhm.
Pakistan, but
Mm.
it is a different way of enjoying the whole process.
Exactly, you're
Like
right,
banks are not
absolutely.
able to do it. Banks क्या
Mm.
कहते हैं कि आपको ये रिवॉर्ड मिलेगा, ये मिलेगा। They
Mm.
are doing it now. This will happen in a very different layers when it comes to social and NFT.
And because it is not regulated, so there is
Yes,
no end to it as well. It's just an
yes,
imagination how big you can go. The other forums like banks you mentioned or other lenders, they are regulated as well. So they have a lot of
yes,
limitations in what they can offer you. But you are right, absolutely. This is a parallel universe. It's virtual, maybe, but as you mentioned, physical as well and virtual, and with combining both of these like merch as well, uh, whoever buys it gets to meet me, for example, or anyone, any other celebrity, or we get to hang out and have a tea for one of the lucky ones, for example. These are all things that we have on the roadmap. It's just yeah, gradually people are coming up and started trading, and then we can offer all of these things when we have a little bit of a trading volume.